son.
What's up, guys? Steve here from Warrior Planted Tanks, and today we're gonna do another exciting episode of Fish Church. I'm gonna go over a few different things with y'all, lighting, nutrients, etc. And then we're gonna chop it up for a little bit, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, right now we in the one of my tank rooms / office, and looking at my Jungle Nano right here. And as you can see, it is a lot different than the last time I filmed it. I think I filmed it for the fundraiser video, but I really didn't go into too much depth. So today I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna go over a few other things that people have asked me to do since the last filming, the last true filming of this particular setup. Okay, as you can see, the quadrifolius has finally taken in very well. All that new growth that was in there that I showed you several videos back has matured, and it's sprouting new growth as we speak. You can see I added a little bit more filtration. I'm gonna cover that here in a second. And I added some more fish. Trying to catch them on the camera, but there's some pygmy corridoras in here. The pea puffers are still in here. The rams are still in here. And Mr. Snail is still in here. I also got some new additions. If you can see that little fella back there, those are bristle nose plecos, and there's 3 of those in here. And I got some more black line rasboras. I liked them in the boost tank. They look good, so I figured why not, and I put some in here too. Also got a couple SAEs in this tank as well. So when we did the last Fish Church video, this tank was ugly, and I'm not gonna say I was ashamed of it, but I mean, I've been doing this for over 2 decades now, and I still get the beginner's itch from time to time. Stuff takes time to grow. It just does. And as you can see, it's doing just that. Look at this banana plant. It is a giant banana, and it's doing quite well. I took the other one out. It's still in ICU. Don't know if it's gonna make it or not, and that's just the breaks. You know, when I got it, didn't have any leaves on it, and it was a shot in the dark. Maybe we'll see what happens. Okay, the crypts are doing great. They melted like I wanted them to, and now we got all this new growth in here, and they're doing quite well. And as you can see, hardly no algae. It's settling in well. The water finally balanced out. Everything started being able to uptake the excess amount of nutrients. Then too, I backed off on the dosing, and everything is actually starting to balance out really, really well. Okay, what I want to do in this one, a little different than Fish Church, is instead of just sitting up here going in, which, you know, that's always fun, but I want to just share some stuff with you guys. And I'm going to start with the low-tech lighting. Now, once again, on the forums, on the groups, via the internet, I always see the question with the beginners talking about what lights to use, which brand is better, do I need this, do I need that, etc. How much should I pay? And the simple question is, it's all up to what you can afford and the functionality that you're trying to get that desired equipment to perform, based on the care requirements of whatever you're specifically trying to grow. This one, it's a dark tank. I mean, it's full of tannins, and the majority of the plants in here are low light, with the exception of the Star Gina repens. It's a medium light plant, and I kind of got the lights dimmed right now. Now I'll explain that here in a second. And other than that, everything in here is low to medium light, with the banana plant being kind of on the medium light side. But I see a lot of deep red in there, which lets me know that this light that I have on here is more than adequate. Java fern is a low to medium light plant. It'll actually tolerate all types of light. The Bobitus hudulati, same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the lights that I actually have on here, and you're gonna be surprised. Okay, this is straight up an under the cabinet light. I got these at Walmart, and I've had them for so long I don't remember when. I think I bought these when I was stationed in Florida. But it's just a regular light. It's running a regular, let me take it off. It's running a regular fluorescent T8 light bulb, if you guys can see that. And this is actually the light that came with this joint. Now, a couple other ones I changed the bulb in there, but if you can see that, that's just a regular 15 watt T8 bulb. And you can see there's 4200 kelvins, which for plants, depending on what you're growing, I would say go around 65. In my Dutch tank downstairs, I'm running a RGB LED light, and it's got a blend on to the 7000. And then here's another one. Let me actually switch this one off. I'm going to show you just a couple different styles that I use. Okay, this is another cheapy, like 10 bucks or less fluorescent light. I don't even know the brand of this one. That's how ghetto it is. But straight up, this is what I've been using on this tank. And if you look at my low tech no tech video, it actually had these lights on there. I think I had 4 of them on a 55, and that was it. The only other thing I had on there was a small heater, and that was it. No filter, no nothing. And if you just watch that video, there's no commentary on it, but it was a great tank nonetheless. I really missed that one. Now I'm gonna move on to the boost tank. I'm gonna show you what lights I got on there. You know, I got some tissue cultures. A client was supposed to be picking these up, but fell through, so I'm gonna plant them. But let me turn this off. Let me move this. Did maintenance, and I'm gonna show you this too. Okay, Home Depot. I think it was like in between $6 and $9 for the fixture, and then you can get a 4-pack of the bulbs for, I don't know, 10, 11 bucks. These are LED bulbs. I don't want to blind you, but you can see they're high output. And this tank is a hot mess right now. Look at all that algae, but I love it. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Along with the algae, there's a lot of new growth too. So you know, you got to take the good with the bad. With that being said, I'm gonna get back to the topic of the lights. Okay, and this is where the fish church comes in. Let me zoom this in for y'all. So we talking about lights. At the end of the day, plants don't care what brand of light you purchase. Educate yourself to understand the type of environment the plants that you choose to grow in. Understand the lighting requirements that they require, and then go from there. There's no such thing as an aquarium light. I'm just gonna go ahead and dispel that myth for you right now. I got friends that use desktop lamps, and they have beautiful tanks. Plants are lush, everything is vibrant, full of life, and that just goes to show. And this is just a throwback from me. You know, if you'll read the description when you log on to Warrior Planted Tanks, if you just take some time and read the description, it kind of goes back to my whole ethos about the way I approach this hobby and the way I've been keeping tanks. I mean, I grew up, I didn't have a lot of money. And you don't necessarily have to have a lot of money. Can this hobby become expensive? I've said it before. Yes, it can. But it doesn't necessarily have to. And there's some things that I still refuse to spend money on. Because guess what? If it's broke, then you fix it. But if it ain't broke, why bother it? You know, and I've been getting great results with this stuff since, I don't know, 1992, something like that. So why would I change now? With that being said, you know, especially like this is directed to y'all newbies out there that really just don't know. Stay out them forums. Seriously. I mean, yeah, forums are not all evil, but I mean, I just read something where somebody asked a question. Just a question, y'all. A simple question. And not only did they get attacked for answering the question, but then this fish church, I'm sorry, but ain't no censor. The same dickheads who attacked the person for asking a question went on a whole nother tangent on the thread that didn't have a damn thing to do with what the person asked originally. And that's the kind of stuff that infuriates me. Okay, like at the end of the day, it's a hobby. It's fish. Like, seriously. Why is it to where people got to use any outlet that they possibly can to validate themselves in a way where they exalt themselves via their ego over other people? I mean, the self-righteousness. That's what bothers me. Okay? And with this channel, what I try to do is I try to take all that away. Because this hobby is near and dear to my heart. And I want to keep it that way. And nothing makes me feel better than to see people who have never kept an aquarium before in their lives venture out and think it's really cool and want to do it. And nothing makes me feel better than that than to see them fail, but don't take it personally, and then they go back out there and try again. And to me, that's what it's all about. Okay, enough of that, because I was going down the wrong direction. So, I want to talk to y'all about some of the other things I do in my tanks as well. And I want to show you guys a few things that y'all can purchase at your local fish store, your pet supplier, or you can purchase it online as well. And I'm going to try my best to get a website on here for you all, so you guys can purchase some of this stuff if you need it. Okay, this is a line of product that I've been using for a long time, and I really support this company because they try to stay out of big box stores, and they support America and small business. Okay, the company I'm talking about is Chem Laboratories, and this is one of the products that they make that I use. It's called Synthesis. And if you look at the end, the element on the periodic table, it is nitrogen. And if you know anything about plants, let me focus that. If you know anything about plants, if you've grown tomatoes, you know, lettuce, corn, house plants, whatever, and you go to purchase fertilizer, there's always going to be three numbers. Three little numbers. Let me see if I can focus this again for y'all. Those three numbers underneath the N. So that is your NPK ratio. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Okay, why is this important? Well, with aquarium plants, like all plants, just because they grow underwater doesn't mean that they don't require the same essential things that all plants require. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And since they do grow in the water, they metabolize it, or they obtain it, I should say, somewhat differently than some of your terrestrial plants would. Okay, one of the ways that they absorb it is via their leaves, you know. And so just to keep it simple, and this is the way I learned it simply. You got heavy root feeders and you have heavy leaf feeders, which means they get most of their nutrients via the water column. Some examples of a heavy root feeder would be like an Amazon sword, or some of your like your cryptocorinne actually is a very heavy root feeder. Some of your plants like this, your banana plant, you could call it a root feeder, but the bananas are actually tubers that the plant uses for energy until it can root in and grow again based on the environment that it comes from. So I'm going to show you a few other of their products that I use. I use the Flourish. I use the Phosphorus. And I use what's called Propel. Now, Propel is just iron, and your plants need iron. It is a macronutrient that they need. They have Flourish iron as well. I like the Propel a little bit better because of the way it's chelated and formulated. It's a little bit easier for the plants to uptake. But those are just a few of the things that I use, and you can purchase those pretty easily. Now, if you are new to tanking, especially with plants, I would say to just go for a more complete fertilizer, maybe like a 1-dose application, kind of like the Nilcog that I use, or one that I have used but I don't use it as much anymore. The Excel is pretty decent, but once, you know, it's cheaper for me with the number of plant tanks I have to buy the different elements separately and then dose each tank as necessary per volume. Because, I mean, you can nuke your fish, not to discourage anybody, or, you know, you could cause other problems, algae, etc. For you more advanced people, you know what I'm talking about, and this really is non-applicable. But, you know, once again, it was just a rundown. Hey, if you want to try it, the only way to learn is to try, so give it a shot. But, you know, start out with some of your more easy or complete, I should say, fertilized mixes. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to move on. I'm going to just talk about some of the stuff I got in here. Once again, there's another bristle nose. The black line raspberries are in here, great. And everything's looking good. This tank really was ugly when I videotaped it the last time in depth, and it's coming along nicely. I don't foresee myself putting any other plants in here. Maybe 1 or 2 types that I've been tossing around. This tank's really green right now, and I do want some pop. So I'm thinking either hardscape to get it to pop, or I might throw in some easy to grow low light red, which I promise you, Dalton, I promised you I was going to do you a video on some easy to grow reds, and it's in the works. I got them planted, and as soon as they take root and look good, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about DC, my boy DC over there at G-Hack. I can't make a video without mentioning G-Hack. Really good group. You know, I really don't see a whole lot of the stuff I talk about in these Fish Church videos going on in that group. And that's kind of why I gravitate toward it. It's a real good group. Knowledgeable people, and everybody, you know, they tend to keep it pretty cool. I don't know if it's because it's all Texans or what it is, but they keep it pretty legit in there. But with that being said, you know, I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. You know, I didn't want to go in too hard. I mean, there's some pretty sensitive people out there in internet land, you know, disliking these Fish Church videos. So if you dislike this one, then I have achieved my goal. Go ahead and click that thumbs down. For everybody else that's just listening to the good gospel of keeping this hobby pure and decent like it should be, click the thumbs up for me. The Facebook business page is ready. You can hit it up at warriorplantedtanks at facebook.com. I'm going to leave that link down there for you. The fundraiser is still going on, y'all. The fundraiser is still going on. I got Warrior Planted Tank official t-shirts, if I can get this thing right, so I can show y'all. Straight up, Warrior Planted Tanks. Right there, all day. 20 bucks. I will ship it. Shipping's included in the 20 bucks. And a portion of the proceeds is going to Wounded Warrior. So less the shipping, basically. Everything else is going to the Wounded Warrior program. Or project, I'm sorry. And it's just a good cause, trying to help people out and give back to something that's better than me. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. I do appreciate you guys for watching. Once again, leave feedback, leave questions. And I'm going to go ahead and throw another challenge out here to you internet gangsters. If you going to thumbs down somebody's video because you don't like it, at least have the common humanity about yourself. Let's not say balls to tell why you didn't like it. Maybe it was something that offended you. Maybe you hurt, you got your feelings hurt. Let me know. I'm human. I'm objective. I could change it. With that being said, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it ride. So let's keep it on. Let's keep tanking. I appreciate y'all. And for everybody, I appreciate y'all business. Hit me up at Warrior Planted Tanks. This is Steve. Y'all have a great rest of the week. And I will catch y'all when I catch y'all. I'm out.